Hi DIYers, Sterling with Alarm Grid here, and today we're going to show you how to add sub-user codes to your Honeywell Lyric system. We have a video that describes master code programming versus installer code programming. So the panel comes with two codes set out of the box. The master code is 1234. That's the code you should use to arm and disarm the system, as well as manipulate the master level of programming. The default installer code is the other code that's set out of the box, and that's 4112, and that allows you to access the panel's deeper level programming for zone programming and monitoring setup, communicator setup, that kind of stuff. All right, so those two codes are in there out of the box, but there's the ability to add up to 46 more codes for various users that may use the system, whether it's a cleaning lady, handyman, family member, employee. There are all kinds of reasons that you would want to add different sub-users so that if the master code is used, it'll report as the master, and you know that the people that have access to the master must have armed the system. If you set up a sub-user and that user doesn't have access to the master code, okay, when they arm and disarm, it'll report as user 3, for instance, or John, or Mark, or whatever you labeled that user 3 code. So by using different user codes, you can track who is arming and disarming the system and when those arming and disarmings occur. So if you want to track that your employees are shutting the business down and locking up as expected at the end of the night, you can get your text message from Total Connect that John armed the system with user code 3, and you know everything is in order. So that level of who's arming and disarming is also stored in the event log. So if you're not monitored, it still gives you the ability to go back in time and say, okay, who armed the system at this particular time or date? So we're going to show you how to add sub-user codes now. To add a user, you need to know your existing master code, okay? If you don't know your existing master code, if you know your existing installer code, you can use our video on resetting your master code, and then you would have access to the master. But if this is a brand new install, you just have to use the default 1234 code. And if it's not a brand new install, you just have to know your installer code or your master code, and you'd be able to get in. In this case, we just showed you how to change the master code in our prior video. So you notice when I typed in 1234, it didn't work. And it's because we changed our master to 1397. And now that we're in our master level programming, if we hit users, we can add a guest code. So this guest code slot can be a little confusing. If you want to add a guest user, we suggest that you do it by adding new instead of just manipulating the guest code. The guest code acts a little different, and we have a video on the guest code and specifically how that code works. But if you just want to allow someone to be able to arm and disarm the system no matter when, but in a way that will report that someone other than the master did it, all you have to do is add new, and you'll see user 3 on slot 3, installer code is slot 1, master code is slot 2, and because we have no sub-users in the panel yet, the first one we add will be user 3. We can tap in the name box, and using the keypad screen, we can give it a custom name. You want to clear out the user 3 portion of it, and you can put in Sterling. And if I'm letting someone else be my master and I'm going to be the sub-user, I would put my name in there. I would type into my user code box, and I'm just going to put in 2345 and done. And when I save it, you can now see on the user screen that instead of just master, guest, and duress, we now have our sub-user of Sterling, which is set to 2345. And now when we back out and go to the home screen and hit security and arm away, 2345 arms the system. Before that code was programmed, 2345 at that screen would have kicked this back out, nothing would have happened. I can go ahead and disarm. And now we're back to disarmed. If we go and we look at the event log, which is accessible from the master level programming, 1397 is our master code because we just had changed that. And we go to events, we can see at the top, arm away, user 3, disarm, user 3. And because if we have access to the master code, we know who user 3 is, and this is our ability at the panel to know who armed or disarmed. Again, great way to keep track of kids coming home from school or employees that are opening up or locking down at the end of the night, and all kinds of reasons that you would want to set up sub-user codes in your panel. And with this video, you now know how to do that. So we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions on manipulating your panel user codes, please reach out. We'd be happy to help. And make sure to subscribe to our channel so you're up to date on all of these great new videos that we're releasing about this revolutionary new Honeywell Lyric system.